It seems, and the world has more or less given us this credit, that we have managed our economy in the last 10 years reasonably well. And its basis has been, of course, the macroeconomic stability and the equilibrium that we created and maintained during this period. What we have attempted in this period is increase the effective demand in the economy, because this is the only way to move forward. Increasing demand means that you bring more people into economic activities in the country. As you have more people, you have more goods, and you produce greater wealth. So, increasing demand ultimately means reducing poverty. You bring people out of the level of poverty, and you increase the demand, and you expand the market. And once you go on expanding the market, you find that your market is not confined to your own country. It is all over the world. Globally, we have been doing very well, I should say, after the Second World War. We have grown fabulously in this period, and this growth has been engineered mainly by trade. Trade growth has always been far higher than the growth of national wealth. So we all know that trade is very, very important. And in order to promote trade also, we have done a lot of things. We are trying our best to have a world where there will be no trade restrictions. Of course, it's much easier said than done, because restrictions do come in order to protect the interests of individual countries. There is a big problem. How do you match between the needs of the countries where you need protection and the needs of the countries where you have to break down the barrier of protection in order to be able to a partner in the global economy, in the true sense of the term. And what we are trying for the last, I should say, since we created the WTO in the middle of the 90s, what we are trying to do is to break down these barriers as much as we can. One thing, however, we should note there, that our attempt is mainly to break down the barriers globally. I think in this region in particular, I'm talking of South Asia, we have not done so well in breaking down the barriers between the nations of this region. In that respect, our neighbors, Southeast Asia, they have done much well. They have done the trade within them has expanded substantially. But in this country, it has expanded only for about 4% to 5% of their international trade, which is, I believe, a matter of shame for us that we have not been able to expand regional trade in the way we have been able to expand global trade. And Bangladesh is no exception from any other country, although we have tried in our humble way to increase trade between at least our biggest partner, one of the biggest partner, China is another one, with one of the biggest partner, India. And there I must say, the goodwill between the two countries have done considerably for the growth of trade within these two countries. And we are looking forward to much greater trade between us, and particularly through the initiative which we call SASEC, which is an initiative of some of the Bangladesh, the whole of Bangladesh, in India, a part of India, mostly our neighboring part, and Nepal and Bhutan. This, for 4 or 5 of us, are trying to do our best in promoting trade in the region. And I personally think that in the SASEC we have been doing much better. And there I must acknowledge the debt of gratitude to the Asian Development Bank. I don't see anybody from the Asian Development Bank present here. They have done a great service in order to promote the Sussex cooperation. Well, I look forward to the next 3 months when we shall have a new government in office. By the end of December, we shall have that. But prior to that, we expect that the equilibrium that we have been trying to create in the regional environment will prevail, will not be disturbed anyway by whatever may happen during the elections. And looking forward to the progress of the economies of these countries and their cooperation in the next years to come, I would like to take my seat